Hey, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm back here with Randall Nelson, Brian Massey's Main Entertainment, and Doc. This is our third segment where we pick a particular year and do a top 10 plus five honorable mentions. This week, Brian was kind enough to give us the year 2007, a banner year for motion pictures. And you'll see that reflected in our lists. What do we have? Brian's going to go first today. Our order is Brian, Doc, Randy, and myself. We'll pull a graphic up and just relive some of the wonderful movies. We think so, anyway. I hope you agree. And let's dive in right away because these things have been going a little bit longer. We're going to shorten them up if we can. Whoops.
Sure.
Didn't mean to do that. Honorable mention, Brian, take it away at your first one here.
Yeah, I've got can't quite see it, but it's Juno. It's kind of a little slice of life film about a teenage girl who inadvertently gets pregnant and wants to give her baby up for adoption. And the kind of the trials and emotions that go along with that. And I think I love this little quirky little slice of life type of movies. It's Elliot Page, then Ellen Page, and Jason Bateman's really great. And J.K. Simmons, I love. So it's a great movie to watch. You know, it's kind of low key. Next up, 30 Days a Night. I mean, this is my vampire movies. So this one is about a small town in upper northern Alaska, who, of course, because of the seasons, has 30 days of continuous nighttime, which there's no sun, and vampires descend upon the town and wreak havoc. And it's based on a graphic novel, and it's really pretty cool. They did a really nice job with it. Next up, Charlie Bartlett. Yeah, kind of another little slice of life type of thing, but it's about a preppy boy. He has to go to a public school, and he's trying to fit in, and he does all sorts of little fundraising scams. And his principal is Robert Downey Jr., so they kind of butt heads a little bit. It also has, I think his name is Tyler Hilton, who played Elvis and Walk the Line. He plays the school bully, and I think he does a wonderful job in the movie. So a little bit of stuff for him. The 300. Yeah, it's a kind of a stylized version of the graphic novel based on the supposed events from Leonidas battling Xerxes and the epic battle where he only had 300 soldiers and had to try to hold the line from Sparta being invaded. I like the action sequences and stuff. It's a little stylized, like The Matrix, in some of it where it's slow motion things kind of add to it. So, but it's a fun movie to watch. Next is Hot Fuzz, another Simon Pegg project. He likes to have his buddy Nick Frost on it, but it's he gets assigned to a small town, which seems like it's just a very low key town as a police officer. And finds out that there's this broad conspiracy of killings that are going on here. Stars Timothy Dalton, Jim Broadbent, Bill Nighy, very all-star cast in it. And Simon Pegg is just a great writer. Shaun of the Dead, those types of movies were also some of his stuff. Great stuff.
All right, into the top 10.
Here we go.
All right. I got Zodiac. I thought, David Fincher's movie here had the right kind of pace. I liked that it was more like an intellectual journey rather than maybe an action or super suspenseful journey. That's what I really liked about it. Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal, all wonderful in it. Had to crack into my top 10. Just a great movie. Eastern Promises, yeah, it's this Cronenberg movie. I remember it was so dirty and brutal, and Viggo Mortensen was just almost unrecognizable in his character, but he did a really great job in it. It's very gritty, like I said, dirty type of movie. But the Vincent Cassel as well was I think he was in the movie Irreversible, also with Monica Bellucci, and he's a really good actor. I've always enjoyed the stuff I've seen him in. Smoking Aces. Then this one here is kind of like that wild card pick where I'm like, this is about Buddy Israel. It's played by Jeremy Piven, and evidently he gets in deep with the mob, and then he gets busted, and now he's going to rat some people in the mob out, and so a big bounty goes on his head. And this story is about all these people descending upon Buddy Israel trying to kill him. And they're all different types of stylized assassins and things. And they end up killing each other more than they ever got to him. But it's just absolutely wonderful, fun, fast-paced film to watch. Check it out.
Number
sure. Michael Clayton, I think Rich might agree with me on this one. This is just a really good story with some great acting, especially from Tilda Swinton and George Clooney in it. Tom Wilkinson at the beginning too. I mean, I just thought he did a wonderful job. It's about the measures that maybe corporate America will go to protect their interests in various capacities. And I just think it's an underrated film in a year that had a lot of great movies. So, and then American Gangster, can't say enough about this film. Ridley Scott did a really great job. This is about Denzel Washington's character, his rise after his boss passes away and how he manages to keep and seize control of and actually set up a means to get illegal drugs from Vietnam. Just really good storytelling in it. The acting is really great across the board. Josh Brolin as the kind of corrupt cop, and Russell Crowe as the one who's just the cop who's too clean that nobody wants to work with, that type of situation. So good. People should watch this one. It's great. So
all right, into the top 5.
Top 5. Yeah, the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford certainly would have trouble fitting that on the marquee. Again, it's one of those pace movies where at first you're going, am I going to like this pace of the movie? But eventually, I think it just, I think the subtlety and the nuances of it allow you to kind of fill in the blanks on what you think the motivations of all the characters are in a lot of ways. I think that's what really helps this film. I thought it should, I'm not even sure if it was nominated for Best Picture. It should have been for sure based on this year's stuff. And I highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. Casey Affleck is great in it. Sunshine. This is, that, sci-fi movie that's a little bit different than most. This one feels a little bit more spiritual in a lot of ways. The earth is dying and they have to sort of kind of restart the sun or alter the sun in some way that when they can save the earth. And then of course a lot of catastrophes happen because somebody basically loses their mind. That's what usually happens in every situation when you're trying to save the world. Somebody loses it along the way. Cillian Murphy's good in it. Chris Evans, it's great. And next, 3:10 to Yuma, the remake by James Mangold, the guy who also brought you Logan. I think everybody was great in this. I mean, it's got Peter Fonda in it, Christian Bale, obviously Russell Crowe. It's got Ben Foster as Charlie Prince. He's like the second in command of Wade, the Wade character, the villain character by Russell Crowe. About a farmer who needs the money so bad that he joins up with a posse to try to escort a criminal and make him catch the train to 3:10 to Yuma. And and the people who journey along the way, some people die, and but I don't want to give away the ending. But you should definitely watch it if you're into westerns. It's really wonderful interpretation. So now the top 2. Ooh. This is the hard part, guys. This literally is a coin flip because it could change next week. I got No Country for Old Men at number 2. And I know that's kind of rough sailing because I think it won Best Picture. So, but man, the acting in this, I mean, anybody who wants to see some really great acting and they want to watch Javier Bardem in this and his epic coin flip scene that he had, Tommy Lee Jones as the aging, lawman who is starting to consider his own mortality and he's a little bit more careful in his decision making. Woody Harrelson as the bounty hunter who's trying to go after Josh Brolin, it was just a guy who happened upon some money and wanted to take off with it, and then all these people start to pursue him. Coen Brothers movie, it's an epic movie for all time. But this number 1, There Will Be Blood, by Paul Thomas Anderson. Every time I watch this, I like this movie more and more and more. It's just everything about it, the cinematography, the pace, the acting. all the nuances that they fill the space with all the time, the shots, the angles, the lighting, everything's just like this is a perfect film in every way. And Daniel Day-Lewis as Daniel Plainview is one of the most flawed characters. I mean, I can't even sympathize with this character on any level during the movie, but at the end, I still love Daniel Day-Lewis for the performance that he has. Paul Dano is in it as well, as plays kind of a two role here where he's supposed to be twin brothers, and it's kind of interesting. And I'll just say that you just can't wait to the end when the bowling alley scene and the big old speech about milkshakes. So
wow,
leave it at that. That's my top 10.
There it is. That 1 and 2 is tough to negotiate,
Yeah, it is.
And that's guys, a great list, right? And you're going to save me from talking a lot, so thank you.
No.
All right, we'll break into Doc's list. Now, if this list goes off the screen, let me know and I'll pop it back up. So sometimes It does. Anyway, Doc, let's get into your honorable mentions as I work my way up. And let's get to Doc.
All these personal lists. I guess here we go. So we'll start right there. I got not a big Will Smith guy, but I actually like this movie here. Where it's the man-made plague kind of thing happens here with I Am Legend, and I think it's still a rewatchable now kind of movie to me. It falls into that guy category in some senses, but the last surviving human, shall we say, or whatever. Maybe the third act is a little weak, but I still find it pretty entertaining. As a guy flick for, shall we say, the end of the world or what could be the apocalypse now going on. So,
very cool.
I Am Legend, pretty fun movie.
But this looks familiar.
This looks familiar because you can't get it on the marquee, buddy, if you wanted to. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, maybe a little underrated in some sense too. I'd say it is a flow movie. You're right; it's a pace movie. It's a flow and how it goes and stuff like that. And Casey Affleck's character, Robert Ford, there looking for his meaning in life on what he actually might be able to bring to the table on what he's trying to do as his character. It's a good watch if you haven't seen it. There's a couple of westerns or this kind of genre kind of movies that pop out in this year, and this fits the bill for me in the top 15. So yeah, it makes my honorable. So
nice.
There you go, bud. Yeah, American Gangster. Yeah, I would say everything you said about the movie, right? I find the plot maybe not the strongest and stuff like that, but the acting I find freaking fantastic, man. So it's the Russell Crowe and even Josh is great in it too for the scenes he's in the scenes with, but and Denzel grabbing the boat. But plot might not be my favorite, but the acting is the driving force. So it's Denzel, man. It's Russell, and Russell had a pretty good year, I think, here. So American Gangster, it's a good watch. So. I like some Stephen King, man. And, you think after a storm, everything's going to be fine and stuff like that, except it's a little foggy outside, but it's a little bit more than just foggy outside with the mist. So Stephen King always brings a little something different to you. And it's a movie that gets more and more tense as it goes along. And it's not a long watch, but it's a pretty suspenseful watch. I can tell you that. The mist is...
The ending's brutal.
Yeah, the ending's brutal is right. And it's brutal. We talked one time, maybe even me and Rich there, about Stephen King and stuff like that. There's a lot of good Stephen King movies out there, man. So this is not talked about a lot, but The Mist is a good watch, man.
That director too, Frank Darabont, he made 3 Miles and Shawshank.
Yeah, exactly. He likes Stephen King.
He likes Stephen King stuff, man. And
you don't see a lot of his name on the marquee, but when he does it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 11.
There you go.
Yeah, those dirty lawyers and everything else that goes with it there, right? So there, Michael Clayton. Yeah, it's as I get older, I think I like George more and more as I go along. Sometimes I thought he was just the same guy quite often, but George can act when he's in the right character, the right spot, I think, when he's given the right script, and he can pull it off a lot of ways. But you're right, the supporting cast, Tilda's great and stuff like that. But Sidney Pollack when he's on the screen, and Tom Wilkinson when he's on screen and stuff like that. This is there's a spiral hole you don't want to go down in some senses here on the lawyer side of a story, a criminal law story or something like that. Michael Clayton's a good watch, man. A really good movie, maybe a little underrated in some senses too, but you see why it was definitely in the Oscar nominations and stuff like that when it showed up this year.
All right, we're breaking into the top 10. Here we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm gonna tell you, man. I still like my guy flicks and stuff like that. So I got 13 coming in, man. And I'm not a Soderbergh guy, man. So don't get me wrong, but 12 stinks. Ocean 12 stinks. Ocean 11 is a good movie, but I think 13 comes back with a little bit more of the originality to it and stuff like this, especially with Pacino's character and stuff like this, and how ruthless he is out of the gate, kind of thing. And I think that actually sets it off to being a pretty good story and a pretty good revenge kind of Ocean's 13 kind of storyline that goes with it. Danny Ocean and the gang, I think, come up pretty good with this one, man. And I like this as a good fluff watch in the background, but a guy flick, and still a little bit of a pretty good little other story behind it too. I like Pitt and Clooney together.
Yeah, don't watch the gender bending version.
Yeah. I agree with you on 300, mind you. So I do like. Listen, this is a fun movie, man, for a guy to watch. This is a popcorn flick, maybe over the top kind of thing, but get the extra butter in it, man, because you're right. It's slow motion at its best, and not John Woo style, Zack Snyder style, and it's
right.
Visually, it's incredible to look at. Some scenes, man. It's and the battles and stuff that happens in this movie. And Gerard Butler starts us off here, but yeah. This I can watch this movie if it's on. I'm watching, kind of thing. It's got that kind of vibe to me, man. It still holds today. 310 to you, my man. Yeah, I told you Russell had a good year.
Yeah,
and not too many good westerns came out in the last X amount of years and stuff. So when you get a good one, you kind of hang on to them, even though it's remakes. It doesn't matter how it is and stuff like this. And yeah, it's Christian Bale and Russell Crowe, man. This is taking them back as gangs and sidekicks and his entourage, what they can do to help him out, and don't want to get too deep into it and stuff like this, but it's a good watch, man. 310 is a really good flick, man, for like a Western movie and that kind of stuff. If you're into that kind of thing, you'll enjoy this movie. If it's not your thing,
absolutely,
go watch 300. I love the Bourne series, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's a great action series. I think Matt Damon's fantastic in the role. And I think they build on each other. Really well done. And here's like the ultimatum is the ending of really the Bourne series to me in a lot of senses, but I'll leave it at that for what it is. Supporting cast, Julia Stiles is great. David Stratham's great. Scott Glenn, Albert Finney over the top. Joanne Allen being the battle inside the agency here about bringing Bourne back. But when Bourne finds out what's actually going on and remembers everything, I think that's just the capper for how this unfolds. Action sequences are over the top. Great action flick, man.
Right.
What do you want? Some great fight scenes, and they got a few of those throughout their movie, and some great charge agents throughout this whole series as well. So,
shout out to Moby for the ending credit song and all that stuff.
There you go. Yes, right. Zodiac. So I think you had this one too, didn't you, Brian?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's another pace movie. It's a different thing, and it's just these three guys really bouncing off each other for the storyline on how this unfolds and the Zodiac killer and everything else that they're trying to unfold the case of. One of Fincher's better ones, man. It's not like to be honest with you, any three of these actors that you look on this name, and Gyllenhaal, Ruffalo, or Downey Jr., they can be quirky, they can be different, they can be everything else. But when they're set as like good acting kind of roles with a good script, these guys are really good actors, man. Not that they always hit, but when they do hit, the good scripts make everything to me, man. So, especially at this level, depending on what I want. But Zodiac's there for me, man. You're right.
Great pick.
Thank you. Yeah, I like Hot Fuzz, man. Yeah. I like it a lot. I think it's completely tongue-in-cheek, over the top, and everything else.
Yeah.
You're right. The whole township and everything else, the story behind it and how it unfolds. It's a great watch, man. It's a rewatchable watch. That's what that
Timothy
is.
Dalton's great in it.
Timothy Dalton, the whole everybody in town is just insane. So, I don't know, but if you haven't seen Hot Fuzz, man, it's got the British underlining humor and everything else that goes with it. And it's Simon Pegg wrote it. He's in it. He stars in it. And it's well shot for what it is and stuff like that. Really fun movie, man. And it's if I'm picking my top 15 movies of 2007, yeah, this is in my top 5, man. That's where I find it.
There we go.
Well, almost there because I can see Vigo popping in here. So
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. What a brutal story.
Yeah.
But man, Vigo and Naomi Watts are both fantastic in this movie. Yeah, this when I first watched this movie, I didn't know what to expect, and then he comes back. I've seen it like 3 or 4 times since, and it's always one of those movies that Vigo's fantastic in this movie, man, and so is she. But the underlying story about the Russians and the mud and the babies being born and different things, and damn, somebody had a diary, and that just leads us on this really crazy kind of chase kind of thing that might unfold from there. But and how people turn and different things like that. All I can say is you want to watch a good movie, man, watch Eastern Promises. That's what I would tell you. Yeah, this is a rabbit hole movie, man. Gone Baby Gone. I think Ben Affleck's debut directing his brother. Set in Boston. Missing girl. His brother gets hired to go find out, and as the story goes, the longer you wait, the less chance there is to find the girl that's gone missing. And this is a real rabbit hole of a story, man. And yeah, this is a really good flick. I'm not going to try to say what it's about or anything else like that. It's a missing person, and he's hired to go find it, and where this leads, and the stories that unfold from there. Casey Affleck's very good in this movie, man.
Yeah.
And look at the names: Morgan Freeman, Ed Harris. Ed Harris is never bad in any role. So, Gone Baby Gone, man. Yeah, this is a great movie from 2007, in my opinion.
Agree.
The coin toss, Brian. Here we go, buddy.
Call it.
Yeah. Well, Daniel Plainfield comes in number 2 today because, however I want to put the scumbags, it doesn't matter how I do this. So, but yeah, I'm not a Paul Thomas Anderson guy. I'll say that in some senses. I find a lot more misses that I know that's probably I'm the minority here when I say this, but it's just the way it is for me. But not here. I can tell you that, not here. This is his best, in my opinion. It's one of the best acting performances you'll see probably in film is Daniel Day-Lewis in this movie. And I say it about Denzel after Training Day, and I'll say it here. I still hate Daniel here, so it doesn't matter how I put this. Plainfield's still an ass. So, and Daniel's got some pretty good roles in his past, man. So, but yeah, this is a story. He's just a scumbag. There's no getting around this. He's weaseling everybody out of everything. The oil boy and everything. So
Don't hold back. Don't hold back. You know?
Yeah, he did not good.
What do you want to hear? He's a really bad character. And like I said, Paul Dano and stuff like this. Great, listen, that guy can act too, man. Don't get me wrong. So the acting is not a problem in this movie. It's a good drama story with some of the best acting you'll see. That's what I'd put it out there, especially from Dano, man. I would want to do a deep dive, watch the movie. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But you also have to watch number 1, I'd say too. So
number 1, here it comes.
Boom.
Yeah, the slow burn of how this unfolds in front of you, man, is just don't look away, man. It just keeps you entrenched with it as it goes along and stuff like this. And Josh Brolin, wrong place, wrong time, right place, right time. Who knows how you put it? But what it means and what Javier's character does, and it's the cat and mouse hunting and chasing and money and can the cop save the day and everything else that goes with it. No Country for Old Men. Second favorite Coen Brothers, I think, maybe. I'm thinking about that, but probably second favorite. But it's my movie of 2007, man. That's There Will Be Blood's fantastic. I understand your pick, Brian, but to me, this is the movie of 2007 for sure. The coin went to the heads instead of the tails, is the way I would say.
Exactly.
Very nice.
Don't put it in your pocket.
Call it.
And that's another one of those perfectly cast movies. Look at the supporting roles with Kelly MacDonald as the wife and Woody Harrelson as the
Woody Harrelson. When they make their appearance, man, they're really good.
Yeah, even Stephen Root. I mean,
Stephen Root's good. Everybody's good.
Oh yeah. Great settings, great everything about it too, man.
Yeah. and no soundtrack. Another one with pace movie, but
Yeah.
it's on a different level for me than
Yeah,
most
it moves, man. It moves at the right pace.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
There we go. Sorry about that.
There it
Bad
is.
control.
All right,
Go, take it away.
my 15. I got The Lookout here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt kind of stars as someone responsible for this horrific accident that leaves him memory challenged as he is from the accident. And but with that, he gets in over his head with this bank heist. It's just a good thriller, I thought.
No doubt.
Cool.
My number 14 is Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, Sidney Lumet's last film. It's another heist picture where everything goes horribly wrong.
course
Just
it does.
fantastic performances in this, especially by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
R.I.P.
I thought it was a good thriller,
R.I.P.
or more of a melodrama. That's what actually Sidney Lumet said. It was a melodrama.
Oh, Fracture's not a bad movie. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Fracture,
Real
Gregory
good.
Hoblit. Several good thrillers this year, but this has this nice cat and mouse game with District Attorney played by Ryan Gosling and his top suspect Anthony Hopkins going back and forth. I just thought it was brilliant. And I got
Wes
hold
Anderson.
it. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing here. The Darjeeling Limited. I'm a big Wes Anderson fan.
Yeah.
I like all his movies. This kind of has in his unique look at the world. This has three brothers traveling through India after the death of their father. Kind of this troublesome family dynamic, but through their journey, they kind of bond together. I just thought it was a good film with the unique Anderson touches.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, look.
At 11, I think we got the same spot.
Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Hot Fuzz, just fun action comedy. It just Simon Pegg as the by the book police sergeant is just fantastic. Great in this movie.
Yeah.
Top 10 coming at you.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's not right, but what was your 10? I'll replace the
My number 10 is 30 Days of Night.
That's it.
That's it.
Cool.
How about that? Boom.
Thank you.
I'm a fan of the vampire movies as well. This is really different than the vampires are doing. I'm more of a traditionalist on that, but I did like the character. I did like the idea that, it's 30 days of night, so vampires are free to roam.
Right.
But even though I kind of looked it up, and I think there's actually 64 days of night in that town in Alaska. But
nice. We're about knowledge here.
My number 9, I got Sleuth here, the Kenneth Branagh remake. Not as good as the original. This time, Michael Caine changes roles and he plays the Laurence Olivier character.
That's right.
And of course, he was in the original. It's just kind of just as theatrical, but the house is even a character in this movie, which I thought was unique.
Very cool. Love it.
8 here, I got Lars and the Real Girl. This is just a unique film in that you wouldn't think a film about a man having a relationship with an adult-sized doll would have such a heart besides the quirky comedic situations. This was a real pleasure to see, and one that I didn't know anything about, but a lot of people had it on their top 10 list, and I went and watched it, and I go, this is really cool.
Thinking Man's Band again.
And I'm a fan of the Bourne movies as well. I've liked all of them. I even liked the one with Jeremy Renner. Great action thriller. The highlight for me is the running across the rooftops in Tangiers. That's just pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I like that.
No doubt about it. Good one.
And I've got Eastern Promises here, David Cronenberg. Surprise, another thriller. This with Russian mobsters in London, and like you said, an unbelievable performance by Viggo Mortensen. The fight scene in the spa is just pretty out of this world.
Oh,
it's kind of messed up.
Ooh,
ooh.
Sorry, buddy.
Ah.
Wonderful performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. Amazing cinematography. 3/4 of this movie, I think, is brilliant. The ending left me a little cold, and I don't know what it was about it, but
I loved it.
I'm
But
sorry.
that's fine. That's cool.
But if I was picking the best movies of this year, it would probably be my number 2. But like I said, the ending kind of left me, I don't know, a little cold. So that's where it is.
You don't like bowling?
And my number 4, this may be recency bias because I just watched this film and I had not seen it before. Just this
Wow.
gripping crime thriller, this newspaper cartoonist who never gives up on finding the real life Zodiac killer and what it costs him in his family life and everything. But yeah, I thought it was an amazing film.
Yeah,
It is good.
it is good.
Oh.
And I've got the Assassination of Jesse James by that coward Robert Ford. Robert Ford had this hero worship relationship, and how it worked in the film I thought was really unique. Look at how they reacted to each other. Brad Pitt as Jesse James and Casey Affleck as Robert Ford. I thought it was just an amazing cinematography on this one.
Yeah.
Roger Deakins was just great at this, and he may appear again. Spoiler alert.
Ooh, Clayton. Hi.
I'm really big on Michael Clayton. I think someone called it an adult thriller, and I think it's Tony Gilroy is the director who wrote a lot of the Bourne films. I don't know if he wrote them all or not, the screenplays. But great performance by Clooney, like you said, as this corporate fixer, and Tilda Swinton. They're seen together where he tells them, "I'm not the guy you kill, I'm the guy you buy." It's just an amazing scene.
That's right.
Toward the end of the movie.
That's incredible.
I love that movie, so that's my number 2. And surprise,
No Country for Old Men.
just one of the most apropos titles is Sheriff Tommy Lee Jones. He's the Destruction, with one of the best screen villains in Anton Chigurh, played by Javier Bardem. And this is Roger Deakins in cinematography.
Nice. Man
Yeah,
made
he's
some
one of
money
the-
that year.
That's mine.
Yeah, it's
Great
pretty,
list.
pretty strong. Pretty strong top 5.
It is a strong top 5.
Look at that 5. I think
Man,
Sorry about There Will Be Blood, but
that's fine. I mean, everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
you might find a little similar ranking on my list, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Anyway, let's break into it. Somehow this graphic got screwed up. I don't know how.
Let's see what's going on.
In search of the lost honorable mentions. Here we go. Here's a new one. Number 15, The Savages. This is 2 of my favorite actors, Philip Seymour Hoffman and Laura Linney. They play 2 middle-aged siblings, estranged from their father, played by Philip Bosco, who is suffering from dementia, and they have to get together and take care of them. And honesty, a little dose of reality. I like these slice of life kind of films that are more like living in the real world. They're not glamorized, and I think it's an excellent film. Number 14, I've got one of Doc's picks, Gone Baby Gone, directed by Ben Affleck, starring Casey Affleck. I like the terminology you used, Doc, the going down the rabbit hole. That sums it up pretty well. Crime thriller set in Boston, which is the Affleck's hometown. Good supporting and Ed Harris is a real sleaze in this movie. A mother. I don't want to say any more than that. Well acted, suspenseful, and there's questions of morality. And, are you doing the right thing? This and that. By the end of the film, and some costly decisions are made. Number 13. I also have the Bourne Ultimatum, rather. I love the whole series as well. Matt Damon, born to play that role, no pun intended. And the third installment, there was the Bourne Identity, the Bourne Supremacy. Yep, all solid. Everyone. CIA movies are tough for me not to like, and you got the amnesia thing thrown in there for good measure. Number 12. I think all 4 of us had this one on the list, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Again, the cinematography is through the roof, stylized. It's slow, it's plodding, but if you have any interest in Westerns and, the name Jesse James is, again, you want to find out how this all went down. I think it's an excellent depiction. Number 11, I also have Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, directed by Sidney Lumet. I like the two brothers here play. They're not nice people, but I like their roles. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke. Crime thriller, two brothers who are just setting up the robbery of their parents' jewelry store. Everything goes sideways from there. Marissa Tomei is excellent as the woman actually sleeping with both at the same time. Interesting dynamic. And Albert Finney is the father. I think this is a really cool way to end your career by Mr. Lumet. Number 10, Into the Wild, directed by Sean Penn. This is a true story of a college graduate who sort of shuns his possessions in life, hitchhikes across North America into the Alaska wilderness, and living this no frills kind of life, embracing nature and solitude. And I thought it was beautifully shot by the cinematographer, and Penn directed it well as well. Emil Hirsch surprised me how good he was in this movie. William Hurt, the always dependable one, as the father. Eastern Promises makes my list at number 9. Russian Gangsters, you guys talked about it. Sex trafficking, graphic violence. Cronenberg's right in his element with this one. I have Atonement, which kind of a romantic war drama that spans 6 decades at number 8. Again, brilliant cinematography. This is a beautifully shot film. Kind of lulls in the middle. It starts out strong, it ends strong. The middle's a little long and overwrought, but I like the film.
Yeah. Saoirse Ronan was great in it. Yeah,
she's fantastic in this as a child actor, and I had to give that movie some props. Breach is a movie that is very underrated. A true story, spy thriller, a true story of Robert Hansen, the FBI agent who was accused and eventually convicted of spying for the Soviet Union. Possibly the worst intelligence disaster in U.S. history. This is based on facts. And Laura Linney, again, in a supporting role. And Ryan Phillippe does a good job as a guy who's trying to infiltrate Cooper's world and bring him down. Number 6, I have In the Valley of Elah, or Ella, whatever it's pronounced. Tommy Lee Jones. Outstanding performance here as a retired military investigator working with Charlize Theron as the police detective, and they're trying to solve Tommy Lee Jones's son's disappearance following his return from the war in Iraq. A lot of PTSD stuff in here, and how it affects the family back at home. Susan Sarandon plays Tommy Lee Jones's wife. I think it's beautifully acted. It's tough subject matter. I have Juno at number 5. I really like Juno. Offbeat, slice of life, look at teen pregnancy. Great screenplay by Diablo Cody. Well written, funny characters. I like the parents here, played by J.K. Simmons and Allison Janney. Perfect cast. Good soundtrack by the Malt Peach, I didn't know anything about, but kind of quirky songs that go along with the film. There Will Be Blood comes in at number 4 for me. I just watched it again 2 nights ago just to make sure. And it's rough stuff. I mean, brilliant tour de force performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. There's no denying that. But he's not a likable character. He's an oil man. He's just out for wealth as much as he can get. Greed, capitalism. He becomes increasingly unhinged by the end of the film, and that may or may not it's on my list. But anyway, it's excellent. Great film. But I have 3 that I like a little bit more. Number 3 is Zodiac. Everybody's mentioned that pretty much. The late 60s, early 70s mystery of the Zodiac killer, and you got the newspaper angle, the police angle. It's well put together. It works as a film. 2 is Michael Clayton. I have it really high too. This is one of my favorite movies to watch, rewatchable. I love the acting. I love the script, the dialogue, everything about it. It's a billion, maybe mega $1 million lawsuit that goes haywire. Wilkinson's character sort of goes off the rails a little bit. Tilda Swinton's on the other end, a ruthless person who's trying to grab all she can and tilt things in their favor. And Sidney Pollack, again, doing his job. He's a great actor. I know he's known as a director, but every film I see him in is he's very believable. I don't care whether it's Eyes Shut, Tootsie, go right down the list. He always does a great job acting. I think him is a wonderful actor. George Clooney, never been better. I like Merritt Weaver in the small role as this farm girl who's been affected by what the case is all about. Number one for me is easy. It's No Country for Old Men. It's my favorite Coen brother, which is hard to say because Fargo is phenomenal. But this is, to me, their masterpiece. I love everything about it. All the acting, the screenplay, the pacing, you want to say, and it always works. I've seen it maybe 20, 25 times, and it's, even though you know how it's going to come out, even that dog running through the water trying to nip at Josh Brolin. I love every scene in that movie, man.
That's great. Perfect.
All right.
It's a great list.
Breach was it was between Breach and The Lookout as my last one I was going to put in there. I really like that movie as well.
Also, on Into the Wild, Eddie Vedder does a soundtrack for that.
Yes, he does.
Fantastic. Yeah. Does a fantastic job. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we'll go on from that, bring our faces back up, and then we'll bring up the other graphic here.
Boy, now we just lost a lot of fans.
That's it. They're all out.
Well, we're getting edited anyway. All right. So let's look here and pull this up. I think you know what one is going to be, frankly.
Yeah, I think we do. At least the number one we know for sure.
Shit. All right. So let's bring up the consensus with the point system and see what came out on top. Yeah, No Country for Old Men ekes it out at number one with 3 number ones and a 2. There Will Be Blood comes in a solid number 2. All top 5 votes, basically 1, 2, 4, 5. Michael Clayton comes in a strong third with 3 top 10s and a number 11. All 3 of those were nominated for Best Picture. And then the top 5's filled out with Zodiac and Eastern Promises. Jesse James comes in 6th. Hot Fuzz, which I have to admit I have not seen. You guys all rank it, but I haven't seen it. Comes in at number 7, tied with 310 from Yuma. Born Identity, Gone Baby Gone, fill out the there it is. Let's go on the list and see what we have is.
Juno just missed out. That's not bad.
No, 30 Days of Night did well. It had 2 votes from Randy and Brian both. Same with American Gangster. That had Brian and Doc's vote.
Yeah.
300 had Brian and Doc's vote. And Before the Devil Knows You're Dead had Randy and I's vote. So then all comes the one hitters with Sunshine, Valley of Ella, Breach, Atonement, Into the Wild, Lars and the Real Girl, so on and so forth down the list. We had 31 the previous 2 videos in this series. We did 30 movies, and this one it came out with 31.
Yeah.
So
there were so many good movies.
Yeah.
That was a good year.
Good year.
And all 5 nominated films had at least 1 vote, the top 3, and then Juno and Atonement. So
Atonement. Nice.
There it is.
Hard to argue it.
Hard to argue. It was one of the things, arguably the best year we've done, in my opinion, because it was deep. But all the years we've done have been good. 81 was good, 99. And Doc, you picked next week's episode. What year do you have in store for us?
We are going to jump into 1978.
Cool. Can't wait to do that one. 1978, that's loaded with all-time classics and some surprises, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have some that are personal picks and some unanimous. This time we had 6 that made all 4 of our lists. That was pretty strong. 6, nice. The top 6, in fact, all made everybody's list at some point. So very cool. I want to thank everybody for watching. As usual, Check out our other lists if you haven't already. And we will be back next time with 1978.
There you
For
go.
Doc and Brian and Randy, this is Rich. Take care. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Cheers.